Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking it out today. In this video, we're checking out the final Week 5 PTS patch notes for the Scalebreaker DLC. And can you believe it's almost over? Yes, 5 weeks of substantial changes to the Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to move on, so let's jump right into it. So let's jump right into combat and ability updates with the Sorcerer class. Taking a look at our Storm Calling skill line and Bolt Escape. Just a fix here with the Ball of Lightning morph. This is now unblockable, just like Streak. So that sounds pretty good. And then Surge got a change here, specifically the Power Surge morph. This morph now grants healing up to 6 targets, but will trigger off critical heals rather than critical damage. The cooldown is 3 seconds rather than 1. Now this is going to be an interesting option for Sorcerer healers maybe in PvE. Healing up to 6 targets sounds pretty good. That cooldown does not sound great though. 3 seconds is a pretty long cooldown, and I feel like this will be kind of negative for solo players in PvE and PvP. I don't know if the developers thought this through completely because Power Surge is how those builds got their major sorcery. And it was also a very nice source of self-healing when playing solo, so that's going to go away. I believe the other morph only buffs your weapon power, not your spell power. So I think this is an interesting idea in theory, but I think it would be better maybe if they go to the other morph, which is Crit Surge, and make sure they add the spell power buff to that. That way solo players can still have that skill that they're used to running on Magsork. And then you can have this as the healer option. Right now, this is just going to be very limiting for Magsork solo builds, both in PvP and PvE. So it's something to think about. Jumping down to Templar skills now and Dawn's Wrath. Eclipse, the ability, and the Unstable Core morph can now only activate on one target at a time. That sounds fine to me. Honestly, I don't think we need multiple eclipses firing off. Jumping down to Warden then, Animal Companions, and Swarm. This did get buffed initially where it had no target cap. I believe that was in the first PTS cycle. Target cap is now back at 6, and this is going to prevent performance issues. But they did make the note here that Swarm and its morphs are going to be improved in the future. And I think that sounds good. This is not a very good skill at all. It'd be great to see some improvements here. I would love to see a stamina morph of this skill. I think that would be really cool. Hopefully they'll take a look at that. Coming up soon. Then jumping down to weapon skills and two-handed, we've got to change to Stampede, and this is actually just more of a bug fix. So they fixed the issue where the crit bonus was applying to the AoE damage from this attack, which is definitely very powerful, so that's no longer going to happen. I think that's fine. Okay, Restoration Staff. Let's see what they did with healing abilities. And a change to Mutagen. This was the morph that gave you the little burst heal and the cleanse when you dropped below 20% health. Very good healing skill. So this will now instead heal up to 2 additional targets in the radius. And it's called Radiating Regeneration. So it no longer has the burst heal. It no longer has the purge. Let's read the comments. This change was done to help healers grant high mobility targets healing with this skill, and to tone down the incredibly powerful ability to come back from the brink of death passively. That's an interesting choice. I mean, that is going to be a good option alongside of Rapid Regen, because Rapid Regen did get bumped down to 1 target. So this is going to be now your multiple target morph of the skill, I guess. Interesting change there. I know a lot of builds in PvP use Mutagen, but remember that Healing Ward did get some buffs as well, so we may be going back to Healing Ward builds, and this could be more of just a healer skill from the Resto Staff skill line. I'm not sure what I think about that yet. We'll have to test that out. Moving on to Fighters Guild and Circle of Protection. Ring of Preservation. This now comes with a price. So the rune now lasts 8 seconds instead of 20. Okay, so that's a pretty big nerf in terms of the duration, and they also reduced the healing by 4% per tick. Okay, so that just makes it more in line with the standards. That was sounding like a pretty strong skill, the way they updated that. So hopefully a little bit more balance there. And then Vigor, I know this is kind of the main change that people have been looking at the last couple of PTS weeks. So let's see what they did here. This ability will now once again focus on area of effect heal over time rather than single targets. So they're talking about the base morph. This will result in a cost increase, 2984 up from 2295, and a heal reduction of 28% per tick. Wow, okay, they did more too. They reduced the duration to 8 seconds down from 10 seconds. Okay, and let's look at the morphs. Echoing Vigor, this is our group heal. This morph no longer ranks up in healing per rank, but increases in duration. So this will be 10 seconds at rank 4. So that's going to be a 10-second group heal. And then Resolving Vigor, this is going to be the single target morph, doubles the frequency and half the duration. Half the duration. So the duration is 8 seconds. So it sounds like they cut the duration of Resolving Vigor. That's going to be half of 8. That's 4 seconds now, where it is currently 5 seconds on the live server. Very interesting. They also reduced the healing and increased the cost. So all of the buffs that Vigor got, I mean, it got some pretty strong buffs in that week 1 PTS. I mean, I saw people hitting over 40k Vigor tooltips. It seems like they really cut that down. This might be back to where it is now on live. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Also, the reduced duration is a pretty big deal, I think, for stamina builds. That's going to be kind of a change, getting used to that. So all in all, I don't know what to think about that. It's a pretty significant change from what was in the previous weeks. As far as changes to item sets, nothing major here. Immortal Warrior got a bug fix. This set gives you major protection now. That should be working correctly. Marcellok fixed the tooltip. Ravager fixed an issue where the weapon damage from the set would fail to apply to your attacks. Okay, good thing they fixed that. And then Zien's Redress, they're nerfing the set again. Wow, reduced the bonus damage per dot stack to 1% down from 2. Max stacks remains at 5. And the developer comment, this was done to reduce the effectiveness of the set in groups. Okay. So overall, week 5, not a lot of major changes, which is kind of what you would expect at this point. I mean, next week the DLC does go live, so we wouldn't expect anything major, but that Vigor nerf, definitely something to look at. The Scalebreaker DLC does go live on Monday, next week, August 12th, so we'll have to see. I mean, developers can throw in changes for that Monday DLC release, so we'll have to see if anything new comes out there. But more than likely, they're going to be sticking with this. So let me know what you guys think of the changes down in the comments below, especially that Vigor change. How are you feeling about that? If you're a Stamina player, if you're a Magicka player, what do you think about the changes to mutagen? That was another big change as well. If you guys enjoyed the video, as always, don't forget to crush that like button for me. It really does help. Hit that subscribe button with notifications turned on. For lots of more Elder Scrolls Online content. I release build videos and guides every week on this channel, and I appreciate you checking me out. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you around in the next video.